In this video, I want to talk about the switch statement. So let me bring it up. Okay. We've already talked about decisions, the if else, and that's very good for true false going through do I want to go this way or do I want to go that way. But the switch statement allows you to use what's called an ordinal value or a number to determine how a program will branch. We have multiple branches. We could use if else and do multiple if else statements, or we can make it a little easier by doing the switch statement. Switch statement can evaluate an integer, character type, and make decisions based on that variable. And this is what it looks like basically. You say switch, and then you have a variable or some kind of expression here on which to switch on, and then each case, like this would be a possible solution to that switch expression. This would be a case, and this is what you're going to do. Or here's another case, this is what you're going to do, so on and so forth. There's multiple paths you could take. Now if you notice, a switch statement always has the curly braces. So right after the switch statement, you have a curly brace, and everything in it for the switch statement is contained within the curly brace, all the different cases. Each case has a colon, and it's I'll say break statement's optional. If you do not have a break statement here, this will continue to fall through to the next case statement, so on and so forth. Then at the very end, this is another option, default. If none of the case statements are appropriate, then a default will be taking place. And a default is just, okay, I did not match any of the case statements, so I'm going to go to the default and do that. You do not have to have a default. That's optional. So again, the switch statement, you have a switch expression. It comes up to some kind of number or letter or whatever. It could also be a string if you're using Java 7 or later. And it's going to try to match whatever that expression comes up with to a case statement. And again, curly braces to enclose the entire cases and defaults. No semicolon here, but the switch expression is in parentheses. Then each case statement, you'll have a case, and like say case 1, colon. And then we place what do we want to do in case that expression comes up to 1, or 2, colon, or whatever it is. And again, the break statement, and after each line in this case expression, there will be semicolons, just like a semicolon after the break statement. So when the switch expression matches, whatever it resolves to, matches the case expression, those Java statements between the colon and the break statement will be executed. And each case statement has to be unique. You cannot have duplication of case expressions. Again, the break statement ends the case statement, meaning, okay, I'm done here, but it's optional. I could choose to fall through, and I'll continue on to the next case statement. And again, also the default section is optional. It will be executed if no case expression matches the switch expression. So I want to show you the no breaks, the pet food, and the switch demo programs. So let me go to no breaks, pet food, and switch demo. So first we'll go to no breaks. So let me bring up NetBeans. Okay, we'll wait for it to come up. And here it is. And just make sure I'll close all projects. And the first one I wanted was, what was it? no breaks. So let's look at no breaks. Okay, come up, no breaks. Okay, cancel that. Come on. There we go. There's no breaks. Now if you look at it, here's main. And we have declared a variable number, which is an integer. And this is going to be a number entered by the user. Again, we're going to create a keyboard object from the scanner class. Now up here we have java.utilScanner imported. And we're going to have, of course, tied into system.in. So what we want to do is get one of the numbers, 1, 2, or 3 from the user. Enter 1, 2, or 3. And we're going to read it into the variable number. And then we're going to switch on that number, 1, 2, or 3. So if it's 1, it's going to go to case 1. System out, you entered 1. If I enter 2, it's going to go case 2. You entered 2. If it's 3, it's going to go to case 3. You entered 3. And I can keep going to 4, 5, 6, or whatever I want. But in this case, I'm going to, if I enter 5, say for example, the default is going to hit and say, since it doesn't match 1, 2, or 3, it's going to go to default and say that's not 1, 2, or 3. So let's just do a few runs on this. Okay, so it says enter 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to enter 2. You entered 2. Now it said you entered 3. Now why did it say you entered 3? Because there are no breaks here. So it says, yep, you entered 2, and then it's going to go right to here, you entered 3. And it's also going to keep going to, that's not 1, 2, or 3. So it's going to fall right through it. So if I hit 1, it should hit all of them, because there are no breaks there. You entered 1, you entered 2, you entered 3. That's not 1, 2, or 3. So it's going to go case 1. It's going to print out this one. Since there's no break, it's going to go to 2. It's going to go to 3. And it's going to go, that's not 1, 2, or 3. Conversely, if I hit 5, it should just hit the last one. That's not 1, 2, or 3. So what happens at 5, it's going to go down to here. That's not 1, 2, or 3, and continue on. And that's because there's no break statements, so it doesn't get out of it. If I put break statements here, oops, didn't want to do that. Let's try that again. Come on. There we go. I'll just put one here. Put one here. Put one here. Now this will work a little differently. Say run. Now if I enter 2, it's going to say you entered 2, and it's going to break out of it. And when I say break out of it, what it does is it goes to the end of the curly brace and continues on from there. So if I run 1, what happens is I hit case 1, it says you entered 1, break, goes to the end of the switch statement and continues on from there. So that's how switch statement works on that one. Let me just remove these breaks so it's back to where it was. Oops, wrong place. So we'll go down to here. And we'll close this up. And the next one we're going to do is, okay, save, is the pet. Open project, I think it was pet food. Okay, pet food, here it is. Let's open the source. And there's the pet food. Now in this one, I have a string to hold the user's input, and I also have a grade of pet food, which I declared at the very beginning. Again, I set up keyboard to get input from the user by using the scanner object. So our pet food is available in 3 grades. It's going to be printed out. A, B, and C. Which do you want pricing for? So he's going to get an input. And I am going to read the character A, B, or C, put it into food grade. Now, look how it goes this way. I'm going to switch on the character A, B, or C, and I'm going to have a case little a, which will just fall through to case capital A. So whether it's a little a or a capital A, it's going to say 30 cents per pound. It's going to give me the price for grade A of pet food. If it's small b or capital B, the small b is going to just fall to where the capital B is, and it's going to print out 20 cents per pound. So whether I put a lowercase b or an uppercase b, it's going to give me the price of 20 cents per pound for those. And lowercase c, uppercase c, again the lowercase will just default into the uppercase c and print out 15 cents per pound. And if I don't put A, B, or C, it's just going to say invalid choice. So let's run this. So let's just do a small a. Small a should catch here. It's going to fall through to the capital A and print out 30 cents per pound. There we go, 30 cents per pound. Let's run it again. This time we're going to do a capital C. So what it's going to do here, food grade is going to say C. It's going to go right here, case C, at 15 cents per pound. And there we go. And again, if I put anything other than A, B, or C, like V, it's going to say invalid choice. I went to the default. Again, I don't need the default. Default is optional. But as again, look at it, switch, no semicolon here, curly brace here. Curly brace has the whole case portion of the switch statement. For each case, I have colons after it. And then for each line, semicolons. Like for case A, here's my 2 lines. Print out 30 cents per pound, semicolon, break, semicolon. Case B, colon, colon, so on and so forth. Okay, let's close that one up. Now the final one we want to do is called switch demo. Okay, so let me bring up switch demo. Okay, here's switch demo. Here we go. Okay, and switch demo. Again, we're going to have a number entered by the user. We're going to have a keyboard object from the scanner class. Enter a 1, 2, or 3. And this is just basically what I showed you before. Break, 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 and not 1, 2, or 3. So if I enter 2, you enter 2. If I enter 7, that's not 1, 2, or 3. So hopefully this kind of gives you an idea of how the switch statement works. Let me just close this up. Any questions, just email me or put it on the discussion board, and I'll respond to it. Thank you.